Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of That's So Matthew. Today, I am so excited to have a longtime guest back on the podcast to discuss a pretty new movie. So introduce yourself and what we'll be talking about today.
Hi, I'm Sparkling Ava from Instagram, and we're talking about the not newest, Disney Plus original movie, Cheaper by the Dozen, which is a remake of a remake of a remake. I don't know what that was, but there's like 3 versions, including this one.
Yeah, it is a long time remake because I know there's like a 1950s version. There's the 2003 with Hilary Duff, and I believe there's 2 of those, and then this is the 3rd one. And I have not seen any of the other ones as of the time of recording. At some point in May, which is the month that this comes out in, I will be discussing the original Cheaper by the Dozen, just because I think it would be nice to have like a contrast of like the 2, and it'll be the first time that I've seen both, so I think that makes like a cool little fun month.
Yeah, I haven't seen the original either.
Yeah, I will definitely be watching it. I did not know that it was on Disney Plus because I thought the reason I hadn't watched it is because I didn't think it was on Disney Plus, and it is. So
yeah.
Now I have no excuse to not watch it.
Yeah.
And so this movie literally came out like 3 weeks ago.
Almost 2.
And that was on March 18th, 2022. Right now, on the day of recording, it is March 30th, 2022. And so this is obviously the first time I'd watched it. I have seen you post about it a lot. And so I was like really looking forward to watching this. And then when you wanted to come on the podcast, I was like, this is like the perfect opportunity to watch it and talk about it here on the podcast.
Yes.
I am also like super excited because I haven't talked about a Disney Plus original movie on here in like a long, long time.
Oh, what was the first one?
I think the first one was the Secret Society of Second-Born Royals.
Oh, yeah, I like that one.
I do too.
Oh, yeah. And Catch Me and Elizabeth Lee and Prom Pact, which, yeah, I'm excited for that because I'm here for a rom-com any day. And it has Milo Manheim in it too. Oh my fucking God, I'm excited.
Yeah, I am actually super excited for that one. I don't know why. Like, I think it's maybe just I love like both of them. So like together, I think it's gonna be amazing. And it's also like a Disney Plus movie, so I think it'll be really good. I really don't know like when it's supposed to be coming out, honestly.
I mean, it's filming right now. I don't know the exact date yet. Probably 2023, but I would love a late 2022 release. I have no idea.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. I obviously am very excited. I love all of the Disney Plus movies that they've been doing lately, so I think that this would be like a perfect addition.
Yeah. Do you prefer DComs or Disney Plus movies?
I mean, budget-wise, I feel like Disney Plus movies are a little bit better, but like for the nostalgic vibes, even if it's a new DCom, I do have to say that DComs I feel like have just a different vibe.
Yeah. Are you still excited for Sneakerella? That one keeps getting delayed, by the way, and that movie has something in common with Cheaper by the Dozen. It's getting hate for being quote unquote woke.
Yeah, I honestly was like expecting to go into this movie and it was going to be like woke fest because that's what everyone keeps calling it. Like I read some stuff on Twitter. Like I just like kind of looked up Cheaper by the Dozen and people are not very nice, but like I feel like they do this with every single movie. Like Under Wraps, they did this whole thing.
Yeah.
It's just like seems to be like the recurring theme, and I'm kind of like done with it because I feel like they just all have something to say that doesn't need to be said.
I agree.
Like if frankly they were like, I don't understand why they like care so much because I feel like remakes are just gonna happen no matter what. So like this constant like hate on stuff because they feel the need is just so stupid.
Exactly. Just because something has people of color in it doesn't make it woke. I don't even necessarily know what woke really means. Like, I don't really know the exact definition.
Yeah, I mean, there has been some positive like critiques. Like I have seen one guy said that he liked this one the most out of all 3. He watched them, and then there was one guy. One of the critiques I do agree was like the girl who is playing the disabled character isn't actually disabled, which that kind of just makes sense. But like the other ones are just kind of like interesting, like why are there so many colored people in this movie? Why are they talking about this in this movie when there's no need to? It just kind of all feels like they just literally find anything to complain about.
Oh, I mean, the girl in the wheelchair, she's had wheelchair experience before because she had cancer before, like years before this movie was made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people are saying that it's basically been ruined for them. They'll never be able to watch the original, which I think it's funny that they're calling like the 2003 one the original because that one's a remake as well.
Literally, what?
It's pretty interesting. I don't understand the hate, TBH. But we'll definitely get into all of like our thoughts, like more in depth once we get to the plot and our rating. But right off the bat, this movie, like we said, came out on March 18th, 2022, very recently. It
Yes.
is based off of a 1948 novel called Cheaper by the Dozen. And then the preceding films like Cheaper by the Dozen and Cheaper by the Dozen, which are of the same name, obviously. It is it features a ton of like breakout stars in this movie as some of the children, some of the people that we haven't seen in other Disney projects, which I kind of love.
Mm.
And yeah, so essentially, I think the best way to just start off is just by talking about like the two parents of the movie, or well, the two main parents, because there's like a bunch of parents that come in and out throughout the story. Gabrielle Union plays Zoe Baker, which is the main mother. I don't want to say the main mother, but like you kind of get what I'm saying. Like she's the mother of like the children that this movie is mainly focused on, and they all have a restaurant, which is exciting. From what I understand, this is the only one. I don't think the 2003 version, they have a restaurant. So it's like new for this adaptation, called the Baker's Breakfast, and she's one of the owners, obviously. And her husband, Paul, is trying to like franchise it out, and she's totally against this. And so I kind of just feel like I didn't not like her character, but I feel like she just like was never willing to see eye to eye with any of the characters. She was kind of always like she wasn't like willing to negotiate with anyone.
I noticed that.
I just felt like it was so like frustrating at some points, like not all the time. Like I definitely agree that like she wants to keep like the homey feel of their shop, but like it just felt like it like was a constant, like she wasn't willing to hear anyone out.
Yeah. What do you think of the dad?
The dad,
I know he plays the...
he is like actually not that bad. I don't hate him.
Yeah, I like him. I wish he was my dad. He's so chill. And he's played by Zach Braff, who is the voice of Chicken Little, if you guys like that movie.
I love Chicken Little. And I'm pretty sure he was also in Oz the Great and Powerful, which is another really amazing movie that I want to talk about on the podcast at some point.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
It is so, he's very like different. I feel like as a dad, he's very chill and he kind of just wants the best for like his whole family and like their business, but it's like no one is like willing to hear him out about it, and it's kind of sad.
Yeah. All the kids think it's whack. I don't know why. I mean, wouldn't they want to live in Calabasas? It's so fancy. I would want to visit that.
Yeah, like I don't understand why the dad, like everyone just like hates the dad. Like I feel like he genuinely wants the best for everyone. There are like a couple moments where he's like frustrating, like obviously where he's like really wants to like focus on like the sauce, and where he lets his business get in the way of his family.
Oh yeah.
Obviously that could be problematic, I feel like.
Of course.
And I also think that they just kind of like needed to like understand that this was like his dream as well, to have this company with this business and the sauce. So I honestly am kind of here for him, like as a character.
I am too. I actually like him. He's one of my favorites.
I would say that he's probably one of my favorites as well. I also really enjoyed oh boy, I feel like I'm not gonna remember his name.
Is it one of the kids?
It is one of the kids. He is the nephew, I believe.
Seth.
Seth, yes, Seth.
Luke Prale plays him. Yeah.
I kind of loved his character, but hated him at the same time.
He kind of made me cringe. Same with Hooray. She was played by Ariane Samhadri, who was in Spin. Both of them kind of made me cringe sometimes. I don't really like the homie stuff. It's
Yeah, Luke Prale's character, Seth, is I couldn't really tell like what was going on with him.
I mean, it
He
was said that wait, what?
Oh, you can go.
Oh, sorry. He was getting into bad stuff back at his old home, and then because it was his mom was like in rehab for some reason. I don't remember why. But yeah, I think his mom being in rehab is what made him do bad things like getting to gangs, fighting, stealing, and his cousins don't like him.
Yeah, like no one seems to like him. Like I think that he's like pretty chill. Like he gets a job at like the baker's breakfast place,
Yeah.
and then he buys Harsh
Hooray.
Harish
Hooray.
the like the shoes to like help him out. But like yeah, I don't know. I didn't like really too much care for him. Like I feel like his storyline was definitely a little bit more complex than the others.
Yeah.
But like he was just kind of weird, and he also kind of freaks me out.
Wait, why?
I don't know, like just the look of him, I guess.
Oh. I don't think he's smiled the whole movie. I mean, I think he did once. I forgot.
Yeah, there was not a lot of smiling going on, and I feel like he just was always looked really sad, and that kind of like made me sad because like I'm one of those people, if someone is sad that like I feel sad. But it was just kind of weird because I'm not really sure like what was going on with him the entire time, but I digress because it's a movie and there's like so many other characters to worry about where I kind of wasn't focused on him as much as maybe I could have been.
Yeah. What do you think of the other kids? I
Um,
like Seth though. Kind of.
Deja was
I love her.
I was gonna say I
She's
love her.
gorgeous.
Her storyline was definitely also pretty prominent. I really enjoyed her just like her everything. Like I feel like she has like the whole basketball thing with the scholarship, and then she's seeing the boy Chris and she's like sneaking
Ooh.
out, and then she gets in trouble. And I feel like it just felt like a really good teenager like thing, like a good teenager plot because you had like the entire family is like upset and that she's like
Uh-huh.
quitting basketball. And then we also have her dad, Dom, who feels like he deserves full custody over her, which is like totally really weird. I was not expecting that to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah. Deja was definitely probably one of my favorites. A storyline I did not like was Ella's. I feel like Ella's was so basic and boring.
Oh, I wanted more screen time out of Ella though.
I did
She's played
like
by
I didn't hate her, but like I feel like it was just so like basic, like social media, TikTok.
she's really pretty though. I like Kylie Ann Rogers. I mean, she she's kind of a wannabe influencer because I don't know if anyone really likes her. We didn't really get to see much of her, but I like how she had Deja's back when she was talking to Chris. And I actually really love Deja. I think she's my favorite. I like how Deja spoke up for her family and told the dad that everyone was unhappy. Like, you took off to do your dumb franchise and left us here to deal with it. I love that. Oh my God.
Yeah, Deja was honestly an icon, a queen, and everything.
Yes. Journey
Uh
Brown, I love you.
yeah. DJ was also another interesting kid. I
I
would
like
say that I liked him. There were like a couple moments where like I was like kind of like on the border of him. Like his character was kind of just different. Like they all kind of go like he bonds with the family pretty well though, which I think is super good.
yeah.
And then it's his birthday and his dad is literally like gone. So like I kind of felt bad for him, you
Yeah.
know?
I mean, he made it back at the end of the day, which is good, but I still wish he didn't constantly take off for that business thing.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into like that whole thing, but I was just really like done with the
Of
dad at
course.
that point, especially the scene in the airport where he was like trying to get on the plane after they closed the doors. Like I was cringing so hard.
Same. Oh no, I didn't like it.
It just wasn't like funny in the way that I think they thought it was. And it just, there was
Yeah.
a lot of things that we'll get into with the plot that like I just think that they were trying like a little too hard with
Oh
this
yeah.
remake. And like I don't want to like say that I didn't enjoy it, but there were definitely some things that I thought were like interesting choices that we can definitely like get into.
Of course.
I also with Harley, like I said, Harley was pretty good. I mean, we don't really see like too much of her, I feel like, compared to some of the other kids.
I love Harley. Oh my God. I wanted more screen time out of her. Kaylee Blazenski, if you're listening to this, you deserve a sequel or spinoff that's all about Harley and how she navigates life with a wheelchair because I want to know the backstory of it. Like, they didn't tell us.
I feel like they did not give us like anything in
I
like any of the
know.
backstory.
Exactly. I want to know so bad. Do you think a sequel's possible?
I definitely think that it is. I don't know like how people will like react. Like following like as I feel like following this movie, I feel like there's a lot of like backlash or like
Uh,
negative comments. So I don't know if they would go there, but I definitely think that it's possible since there was a like sequel originally or in the 2003 version.
yeah. Um,
It's a potential for sure. I would definitely say that maybe we'll wait a little bit because I was on the fence about like Under Wraps getting a sequel because I didn't think that they would do it and they did.
I know, right? That's the lowest rated Disney Channel original movie of all time, and it's still getting a sequel, and everyone was shitting on it, calling it woke and stuff. Like, shut up. I
It wasn't
liked
my
it.
favorite, but like I didn't hate it. Like
Yeah,
I can like watch something and not like love it and still appreciate it, you know?
I agree.
Like this movie I don't think is like my all-time favorite thing, but like I still enjoyed it for like what it is.
Of course.
Uh obviously there's the other children like Harsh. I always say
Hooray.
Harish. He was kind of I didn't really like him.
I didn't like him either. It's okay. I liked him in Spin, though. He was less annoying there. Do you remember him, Rohan? What do you think of him?
I definitely liked him more in Spin.
Yeah. I
I
didn't like how
really wish that in this movie he would have been less like hip and gangy, if that makes sense.
that made me cringe so hard. And the fight scene, what do you think of that? He's like, yo, Trent, I stand against bullying. You racist trash, I'll kill you and your nana. Like, that made me cringe so hard.
It just wasn't it. I can tell you that. It was so cringy. Like there was a lot of that was one of the scenes where I just really like did not enjoy.
No, neither did I.
I would definitely have liked to not have to deal with that. But we have
Yeah.
two sets of twins. We have Luna and Luca, and then Bailey and Bronx.
Yeah.
What did we think about the two sets of the twins?
Well, I like Luca and Luna. I know that Luna's played by Michael Michelle Harris, who's in season 5 of Raven's Home, which you should watch. Man, she's cute.
Yeah, I honestly didn't really have much to say about the children,
Same,
the twins
same.
specifically, because they just didn't really like do anything. They were like they had like the whole storyline with like moving into the house where they were like too far away from their dad's bedroom. Like I think that's like the only thing I can think of.
Same. I don't have much to say about them. I think Luca and Luna are the chiller ones, and then Bronx and Bailey are the crazier ones. I think Bronx and Bailey remind me of Louie and Beast from Stuck in the Middle.
This whole movie reminded me of Stuck in the Middle, like to be honest.
Same. I get the vibe.
I definitely like this more than Stuck in the Middle though, because I don't really like Stuck in the Middle.
Watching it a little more recently, and I can tolerate it.
It's okay. This is
Yeah.
like just okay. I feel like that's kind of like the theme. Uh who also, I need to talk about this. I have never cringed harder at dogs' names.
Oh, same. Stop, stop. Oh my God. Barack Obama and Joe Biden. Oh no.
Horrible, atrocious. I despised it. I'm sorry. That was the worst writing thing that they could have added to this
Yeah.
movie.
I promise I'm not a Republican, but I didn't like it.
I thought it was so cringy. Like that specifically makes me just want to like bring the rating down a point. Like, what was that? It was so like when they said it, I was so like taken back because I really thought that it was going to be like just something that was like, I don't know. It's just, they definitely were trying to add some like comedy. I can definitely see where people are getting the woke comments, especially from that, but like still, it was weird. That was definitely a forced reference that did not need to happen.
Yeah, it felt forced to me too. I didn't like it at all.
Yeah, it was weird. Another thing that I kind of thought that was like forced is I feel like there was like a lot of like talk in this movie about like social media, TikTok, and like trying to be like 2022 hip.
Oh, I remember that.
It
Weren't the kids trying to like get out of being grounded by doing a TikTok dance? Like, don't you want to do a TikTok dance with us? Because we're so irresistibly adorable. You're not even doing it right. You have to clap the back of the hands and then throw. You're embarrassing the family. Yeah, I got secondhand embarrassment too.
it's so cringy. Like I just really literally this movie was like trying too hard in the like the trying to be hip.
I agree.
Like I totally am all here for like the 2022ification of a pretty classic, I would say, early 2000s movie, but like it is so like obnoxious, like the TikTok, the like the Apple like alarm music constantly, or like the ringtone, the classic Apple music. I feel like rang so many times in this movie.
I heard it a lot. And
And
I don't.
the clapping of the back of the hands, like the renegade thing, like it just was cringy. Like I couldn't like watch it and not just like cringe out of my mind.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate that they tried to be modern though. I like the modern. I like modern things, but that was just a little weird.
I agree. I'm not going to disagree with you on that. I definitely think that there was like potential for it, but it just
Yeah.
like got, it was overdone.
Yeah. That.
Moving on from like that whole thing, I feel like also there's a guy in this movie who plays the principal, and I don't remember what his name is, but I feel like he plays the principal in literally every single movie.
Oh, I can't see him on the cast list, but yeah. Wait, what did you know him from?
I don't know. I need to look up who plays the principal first. But I feel like I've seen him in so many different things as the principal.
Oh,
Let me check Google.
2022.
Um he's definitely been on Disney Channel a lot.
His name is John O'Brien. I don't know if I've seen him in anything else before.
Let me, as one of my teachers would say, let me check the Google machine.
He was on Austin and Alley for 2 episodes. He played Mr. Niedermeyer. I don't remember that, but okay.
Oh,
Hmm. Phil of the Future, 1 episode. Beefeater. That's the name. Beefeater.
oh, okay. Well, that's very helpful. John O'Brien. I'm on his IMDb page right now. I'm trying to like see what I know him from. Like, oh, Pretty Little Liars. Oh, that's probably the big one.
Maybe.
Victorious. He was in an episode. Austin and Alley.
Yes.
So like I've definitely seen him in a lot of stuff. I mean, I maybe definitely over exaggerated with saying he's been in like the principal and everything, but I'm pretty sure he was the principal in Pretty Little Liars. And there's so many seasons of that, it just must feel like it's like exactly the same. But he was
Yeah,
only in for like a split second, which was okay. Because I feel like the whole thing about this movie is that there's so many kids that I feel like we didn't need like a bunch of background characters to just like fill it up, you know?
I agree. What did you think of Kate, Paul's
Oh
ex?
my God. She is so annoying.
Yeah, she's
I
okay.
didn't really enjoy her, to be honest. I thought
Yeah,
that she was definitely okay.
yeah, she's okay. Not my favorite though. I like Zoe better as the mom, obviously.
Yeah, Zoe. And I just feel like it's kind of weird to me that like she's still in their life, like babysitting, even though no one really seems to like her.
The kids love her, according to Paul.
Yeah, it's just really weird. I don't know. Like, I just thought it was like, okay.
Yeah.
I definitely wish that there was like a little bit more with like Kate, even though I didn't like her that much because of like the whole like idea of her doing the yoga was interesting.
It was.
And there was like in the end they like show her and like her new like boy toy or whatever we're gonna call him, like husband, like
Boy,
invented like goat yoga or something, bird
something with
yoga, bird
bird.
yoga.
Yeah, it was.
Very interesting choice, to be honest.
Yeah.
I kind of liked the ending credits, how they like revealed a little bit more about the story. I thought that was like really fun.
Yeah. I kind of remember some of them. I think Deja went to USC. I like that for her. And she's with Chris still. I love that. And then Ella became the social media manager for Harley's punk band, which went viral. And then what else happened? I think Seth moved back in with his mom and he hangs out with the cousins a lot. I don't remember anything about anything else. Wait, I think DJ and his dad, Dom, went to Comic Con and then they brought in the girl that DJ liked, Talia, who's played by Lila, right? And then they cosplayed as Marvel Comics, which is cute. Do you remember anything else?
I don't think so. Like I'm not gonna lie, I share my Disney Plus with someone, and so when I like went in to watch the movie and it started like with like the weird like opening credits thing where they haven't done that in a movie in a long time, I thought that I was at the end of the movie.
Oh, yeah. I
Because
mean, I like all the baby pictures though.
I was like, oh wait, did did they start watching this movie? I was like kind of confused, but like now then like when it got into the plot, I was like, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
Let's honestly get into like the plot if that's okay with you.
Of course, yes. Yes.
So we have the Bakers, which are a mixed family. We have Paul and Kate, who have their daughters, and they also have adopted sons
Yes.
and daughters. Well, the one guy who I can't pronounce,
Hooray.
Hooray, his parents died in a car accident, which is kind of sad.
Very.
And then we have like the whole thing where Paul and divorced Kate, but they're still pretty friends.
I like that.
And she's going to come babysit some children.
Yes.
Which is a horrible idea because early on in the movie, we see her babysitting and they're like throwing like a whole like party and having their friends over, and then they get caught, and it's kind of a lot to take in very quickly.
Yeah, it was like a drag race or something. And then I think either Bronx or Bailey hits their face on the door when they're trying to like get out with a bike. And then one their nosebleeds. I don't remember which one. I can't tell the difference between Bronx and Bailey.
Yeah. Oh, also, that's another thing I want to talk about. This movie, or they like make a drag race reference, like referencing like the car drag racing. But then, I was so thrown off by the RuPaul's Drag Race reference.
Oh, I remember hearing that.
I was like, oh my God. It was like kind of funny for me. Like, I don't know why. It feels very like 2020, like mention-ish. But I digress. And we also have Dom, who is Deja and DJ's dad. And
Yeah.
so Zoe is the one who like divorced him, which kind of makes sense because he's like such a celebrity or something.
Yeah. Do you like
And
Dom?
I didn't like dislike him. I just thought that like he was like kind of rude for no reason at some point.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
I also really thought that their whole breakfast like idea where it was like they make they serve breakfast all day and then they like got married and then it's called Baker's Breakfast. Like that's kind of fun.
Yeah, I like it. It was like dinner breakfast, lunch breakfast. It's kind of confusing, but I think it works. I never tried it though.
Yeah, I also was very intrigued by the fact that from what I understand, if I'm following how the kids happen to like come along, that Luna and Luca and Brox and Bailey are their twins, which is like Zoe and Paul. So they had two sets of twins. And genetically,
Yeah,
I'm not sure how possible that is.
I know. She was like, my pregnancy was planned. The outcome, however, was not. So I don't know if she intended to have twins.
It's kind of
Yeah.
funny. The way that
It
I
was.
remember her saying that, and I was kind of like laughing at it because I was like, that's kind of like a dirty joke.
Yeah, this is not really a little kids movie. I didn't really think it was a kids movie
No,
because they use words like damn and hell.
it's definitely not super kids friendly, I would say. I feel like it's more of like a teenager vibe.
I agree.
Um, moving along, we have like the whole thing where like Paul is kind of like intimidated by Dom, but we have the whole thing with Deja and her basketball like
Love her.
scholarship, which DJ kind of connects more with Paul.
I like that.
And I like that as well, but Dom does not like that. So he gets kind of mad.
Jealous. But he denied that he was jealous of Paul.
Of course. Like I feel like they always would. And then we have like the whole thing where Paul is like going to expand his restaurant and we have like he like succeeds in this and then so they go and they move from Los Angeles, I can't even speak, to Calabasas, which is like fine with me. Like I feel like it looks cool, but they're in a gated community.
Yep.
Which obviously, as you know, this movie is definitely going to take a little bit of like a like real life approach to where they feel like Zoe feels like they're being racially like targeted in this neighborhood.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I think Deja said a rent-a-cop trails mom every time she leaves the house. That's kind of sad.
Yeah, it was just kind of really like unexpectedly thrown into the storyline. Like I understand like why they took the time and effort to like make this a story plot, but it was so like I don't know if it was necessarily needed. Do you agree?
Eh. I mean, it was okay to represent that, but I don't really know if it was needed either. Yeah, I
It was
agree.
just an interesting plot that I was not expecting, but obviously it happened, so we just kind of continue.
Of course.
Then we have his Paul's sister who like goes into rehab,
Yeah.
which brings Seth into the picture. And
Yeah.
Seth is a thief, essentially. He has a
Of
very bad
course.
habit of stealing things. I feel like classic teenage boy, unfortunately.
Yeah. The kids did not like it. They were like, Sticky Fingers Seth, didn't he go to juvie for shoplifting? Yeah, and didn't he get held back by like 1 year? Yeah, they obviously don't like him.
Sticky finger Seth. That's so funny.
That's
When they said
hard.
that the first time, I was like laughing because I was like shocked, but like it's also kind of funny, like in the long run.
It is, yeah.
Then Seth bonds with one of the other kids,
Right.
and yeah, I'm not gonna even try to say his name.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll say it.
And so he is being picked on at his school, and so Seth like teaches him how to defend himself, which is a horrible idea.
Yeah, it led to that cringe ass fight scene. Oh my god. Oh.
It was so embarrassing.
Very. I got secondhand embarrassment.
Then we also have like the whole Deja and Chris thing that happens, and she sneaks out to go see him, which is obviously a no-no. I feel like sneaking out of the house in any situation is just not a good idea.
Oh no. Yeah. I like her and Chris together though. Do you like their relationship? Do you
I
ship
love
them?
their relationship. I just don't like that she snuck out, I guess.
Yeah. And I
It,
think what?
it led to her like getting in more trouble than I think she needed to.
Oh yeah. I think the mom like kicked open the door when Chris was studying at Deja's house because maybe she didn't want them to do something. I don't know. But I've noticed that like parents kicking the door open and they don't want couples behind closed doors with their teenagers. I've noticed that in movies.
Yeah, I wouldn't have any experience with that myself, but like I've seen it in movies.
I have to.
And so Paul continues his search for his restaurant with the investors. I believe Melanie and Michelle are their names.
Yep.
And they're like trying to like change his business into their own, which starts to like cause some problems. Like they want to do more like branch out from breakfast, and he doesn't want to do that because that's like the whole point of the like
Yeah.
business. And so I definitely understand like him not wanting to compromise his like ideals, but like I feel that if he really wanted to do this like franchise thing, he would have just done whatever, you know?
Yeah.
He was definitely having some second thoughts.
Of course.
Then this leads into the DJ's birthday party scene, which made me feel so bad, TBH.
Yeah. I felt bad because Paul was late. That was sad.
Which also led to that really cringy scene, obviously, with
Which one?
the airport one.
Oh, yeah. That. Oh.
I didn't like even know what to think because I was so cringed out. And then he gets like taken away by security.
I don't know what to say about that either. But I think DJ was waiting for Paul because I think DJ liked this goth girl and then he didn't know what to do. So he just dressed as a punk goth or something. And then I guess they liked each other at the scene at the party. Do you like what's her name? Talia. What do you think of her? I like her makeup.
I liked her makeup. I thought it was like an interesting subplot. Like I feel like there was like so much going on that we didn't need another subplot in the movie.
I agree. There's a lot.
And so I feel like this is when Dom like gets really upset because he's like, I don't think that you can handle the children.
Yeah, he was being rude in this scene. I didn't like him. And you guys could forget about joint custody. I'm filing for full.
It was so weird. Very, very out of left field.
Yeah.
Then Harley and Ella are like, Seth has been breaking in and he stole from the cash register, even though he returned the money, I believe, because there was a scene where he like got like a full-time promotion and then he put the money back. And then he runs away and then they all go out to find him because they realize that they shouldn't have done what they did. And always a fun time. He's like in a bad neighborhood. So they all go together. They admit that he is like part of their family, and it's kind of cringy because then there's like the whole like drug kind of like suspicious drug dealing looking guy.
I saw that too. And Horace was cringe in this scene too. He was like, "You're my bro, OG homies for life." That made me cringe too. I don't like that.
Yeah, and then they all just like show up, and then he calls them like the Jackson 9, like a reference to Jackson 5, I think.
That stuck out. I remember that.
I do remember that too. Then Dom and Paul have this like really rough conversation, which was so weirdly unnecessary.
Yeah. Was it the one like before he went to find Seth or the one after?
I think it's the one after where he was like, we like have different experiences, and just because you married like into a colored family does not mean that you can speak for this, and it was like really kind of like rude in my opinion of him.
It was. I mean, he was like, what was I gonna say? He was talking about how he experiences racism and gets pulled over in every city he lives in, which is sad. And he wants to teach DJ how to handle these things. And he says he called Paula Clueless white dude before.
Yeah, Dom was just kind of getting on my nerves at that point.
Was, yeah.
But then we have like the whole scene where Paul like is like, I'm done with this company. I'm gonna run the restaurant myself. They all go back to Los Angeles. They get this new house, and
Was it the
then
same one or an old one?
I think it's like a different one because they buy like the new house and they take the selfie in front of it.
Oh, okay, got it.
Then they have like the breakfast they call it the Baker's Dozen breakfast.
You like that name?
I do. I like that more than Baker's breakfast.
Yeah, I like that too.
And then he also has like the new design of the sauce bottle with Seth on it. I thought it was so cute. And that's pretty much the end. They take the cute like family selfie that has been used to promote the movie, and I kind of loved it.
I do too. I like the posters.
The posters of this movie are very interesting. I think my favorite one, because I've seen multiple, is the one where they're like all laying on the bed.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, me too. That's probably my favorite.
Yeah, I like the white poster with just the whole family in the background. That one reminds me of the High School Musical, the musical series season 1 poster. I don't know why.
Oh yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, that one I don't hate. I don't think that any of the ones are bad. I don't know how I feel about the logo personally. It's better than like the 2003 one, but it's not like my favorite.
Yeah. It's all right. I am cool with it.
Also, the tagline is "Make room for family," which I love.
Yeah, I like that line. I like that slogan too. Yeah. What do you think of the character posters? Because there's a lot of them.
I did see them earlier. I think I like them because like it's a good way to keep track of who's who.
Yeah, my favorite was Ella's. I like her outfit and I like her makeup in that poster, and I like Harley and Deja's posters too.
I was gonna say Harley or Deja is probably my favorite.
Yeah. Who's your favorite character?
Probably Deja.
Damn. I love you, Journey Brown. I love everyone, but Deja's my favorite. I like how she went off on the family.
Yeah, me too. Kind of well deserved. They deserve it. Now comes the time to rate this movie, and I'm very nervous to give my rating, so I'm gonna have you go first.
8. It's enjoyable and I like it. It's a cute family comedy. Watch it on a Friday night if you need something that's a family comedy. If you want something fun. I don't know what else to say, but I give it an 8. I loved it. I mean, liked it. Love any of those words. I'm weird.
I'm gonna have to give it like a 6.
It's okay. It's okay.
I didn't hate it. I did, like I said, I enjoyed it for like what it is, but it's just not like my favorite. I think there were parts of it that felt like really weird to me, specifically like the whole thing with like the TikTok and like trying to be super hip and like 2022. I didn't like that. I also didn't like how it felt like they were trying to make such like a huge like pop culture presence, like with the dog names, with like the TikTok and everything, that wasn't necessarily my favorite.
No, it wasn't.
But it was good. I enjoyed it. Like looking back at it, I watched it in 2 sittings because I almost fell asleep last night. It was not because the movie was boring. I was just tired. So like,
yeah, understandable.
So yeah, I definitely would give it like a 6 out of 10. I have seen way worse movies for the podcast. I'll put it that way.
What's the worst one?
Oh, probably like I still always say this Girl versus Monster is pretty bad.
Oh, do you like the music in that though?
I like the music. I just don't like the movie.
Same. I haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah, that's like the one that comes to mind of like the worst ones. I didn't hate it. It's
Yeah.
enjoyable. I can't wait to like record my thoughts on the original, not the original. I always keep saying the original, but like the 2003 version, to kind of see where I lie on this.
Yeah. Tell me if you like it better than this one.
Oh,
I haven't seen
definitely
it
will.
either.
I'll send you. I'll let you know. Whenever I like find the guest and all that, I'll make sure to let you know.
Of course.
So where can my listeners support you and follow you on like your social media, and what do you post on there? Just give them a little quick rundown.
Okay, on Instagram, Sparkling Ava. I'll tell you how to spell it because it's not how you think. Sparkling has a Q at the end, dot Ava with 3 A's at the end. And I'm an Ava Colker fan, which if you don't know her, she's from City to Max and Girl Meets World. And I make edits for her. And yeah, I'm still doing these after City to Max got unfairly canceled. I don't know why. I wish the show was going on still so she could be in more stuff, but yeah. Do you miss that show? Because I do.
I definitely was not expecting it to get canceled, but yet they've renewed Bunked for like a 6th season. I think they're going into now.
Ugh, yeah, no.
No, thank you. Not my fave.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, thank you so much for joining me again. It has been a little bit because I think the last one was Christmas again.
Yeah, it was.
Which is always a good time. I honestly love that movie.
I do too.
And thank you everyone so much for listening. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all the places at That's So Matthew. And you can check out my website, that'smatthew.com, for all the fun stuff on there. As well, you can listen to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Leave a podcast review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts so that we can reach more listeners. And I will be back with you all again soon. Bye.
Bye.